Okay, I am back, which might be the last time I'm back for Olaf, at least for a while. I don't know if you can see this because this is my works. Oh, not that one. Okay, just a second. I didn't realize I was still set up for that other view. Okay, let's see if this works. So this is my workstation right now. Wait a second, let me. I don't know if I can even show you guys. It's so big that it takes up um, my whole workstation here. And like I said on the picture, he's got a boxy rear end like a Volvo. But anyway, he's 2/3 done at this point, and I think he's getting too big to do videos about. But I'll be back next week with Sven, and I still have his lower body and feet to do. So I may. So there's his head. See if I can get my hand in there. So there he is. I can't get my hand in there. Oh, that's why. There he goes. Hopefully they'll be able to do something with that. And then his body. So the idea is that the body will kind of float there in front of him and in front of the performer. And then the head will just be separate and kind of resting on the top of it. So that way for the scene where he loses his head, it'll be easy enough to take it off and use it. And hopefully the performer can figure that out. And then the nose comes off and goes back on. So we got that, and he's got the branches at the top that are, adjustable to fill out his hair there. And his arms are done, although I haven't painted him yet. I suppose I could do that on here, but again, he's so unruly. You can kind of see how they'll work. And these pom-poms I found on Amazon were perfect. I was worried they were going to be too small because in the package they are tiny. But as soon as I took them out, they were just the right size, and I just could sew it on. And so that's done. He'll get 2 more on his belly. And what else have I done today? So this is the best I could come up with for the support. I went back to this again. So this will go on a belt up here, and there'll be padding up here. And then there's a turn, and this comes undone, and it'll be held in place with a screw so that they can break it down. But this will be embedded inside the lower body, actually right at the top, right between the 2 pieces, and jut out. And then, and of course it's not set up now, but basically this will go on and then through the legs and at a belt like so. So it sticks out and will hold up his body. And then his feet will be separate, attached to these runners. I would actually do some work on this, but I want to paint it before I put it in the body. And then I made all the pedal leaves, but they're so big I really don't want to fill up my apartment with glue. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything with it. Let's see, get this out of the way. But each of these pedals will make up 1/5 of his body, and they'll go together. I made it so he's a little bit heftier at the top than he is at the bottom. And I've already heat formed it, but I have to glue it all together into, see, you can't even see it. It's basically going to go on there. Here's his upper body. So that'll go on there, and then this will, it won't be this big. It looks like big pantaloons. If it is too big, I'll have to cut it down. But it may only be 4 sections. But anyway, it'll go on there like so. I think that is too big. Let's see. Should be something like that. And it's all put together. I had to do it for measurements, so I may have been off again. That's kind of the idea. We'll see, though. It's all a process. Yeah, it might only need 4 of them. But everything's still off-gassing so much, I don't really feel like filling up my apartment with it. So I don't know that there's too much I can do. I think what I might do on this one is I'm going to texture the arms. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Let me get everything else out of here. I mean, it's very simple. But at least I had a productive day today. I probably should do some tests before I start on this. Okay. So let me see what I have here with my paint. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is what I get for using iPhones for everything. Okay, let's see what I got. Okay, so there's one. Oh my goodies. Black. I had a white one of them too. I wonder if I used it all up. Oh. There it is. Okay, so let me get some of the extra material. See, when I work all day, I'm not prepped for these classes or these live streams. Okay, so here's the brown material that I'm using. This is a sea sponge. And I just wet it so that it'll get kind of soft and kind of expand out. And then I want to dry it off as much as I can. So there's a couple different things I can do with this. This is the stuff I was talking about. It's called Tulip Soft Matte Fabric Paint. And I know it's acrylic because I've used it when I didn't have any white for regular paint. And it looks like that's the end of it. So anyway, so I basically kind of get a brush. I probably could just use standard paint, but I'm going to use this first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of dab it in this white and then just kind of dry brush it on there. See how well that works? Might be because I don't hardly have any of this paint. But kind of give it that mottled look. And I could maybe streak it like that to give it more of a wood grain. So that's what I want to do to the arms. I'm going to try it with just regular paint right now because I'm all out of the white. Well, let me see what else I have. Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, there's no more of that left. So let's just use white, regular white paint. I don't know how flexible this really needs to be, but so just a little bit of. So one thing I could do is instead of using sea sponge, I can use this brush and kind of do that sort of thing. That might be how I do it. That looks more like wood grain to me. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Forget the sea sponge. All right, I'm ready to start. Get all this out of the way. This is where I ruin this, but let's see. So I got to keep the sticks out of the way. That's probably going to be the hardest part. I'm just going to just go for nothing. I don't want to have too much. Probably add some black to it if I wanted to. Just kind of try and do it all in the same direction here. Okay, there's one arm. Okay. He had a fold, so he's got kind of a interesting bicep there. Okay, let's do this other one. Oops. There we go. Okay. If I can get this off. See if I can hide it. There we go. All right, I'm going to call that done before I ruin it. Get it out of the way. But that should at least make the sprigs on the top of his head and these twigs that are supposed to be his arms, a little bit more cohesive. Okay, I'm going to call that done. Hang them up to dry. Okay. And I'm going to clean up this stuff before I end up ruining it. Just 1 second. All right, so that's everything I have planned for today. I could work on Sven, but I tell you what, I'm exhausted. I've been working on this all day, and I'm going to probably work on it all night. But I don't know what else I can show you guys on this. Not that anybody's watching. But yeah, so I think probably after this weekend, I will come back on Monday, and I'll show you guys how he turned out and show you the progress on Sven. But I don't know that there's going to be too much I can show you guys as far as the build goes, because as I said, it's going to be it's going to be so huge now. Oh, hey Dave, darn it, I missed the part. I just ordered some dry brushing brushes from Amazon yesterday and some fabric medium. I have to catch the replay. There wasn't anything particularly interesting, Dave. I'll show you everything again. I just used acrylic paint because I did have the fabric paint, but it was almost gone. I just did a little test and it was gone. So I just use regular acrylic. It'll be fine. I just basically use a really light touch with using a house brush. But let me show you. So I can't show you. Okay, so the lower body I think is a little too big. So I'm gonna build like a quarter of it and see how it goes together. But these are the panels for it. Then it'll go like so. All go together like a big flower. And I'm not sure if I'm going to need 4 or 5 panels. I end up cutting 5 panels, but as I put it together, it looks pretty big. So I think I'm going to put 2 of them together and see how it goes, how it looks, and then maybe take it apart and adjust. So that's the lower body. And then here's the head, which, if I can get my hand in there correctly, it works pretty well. And the nose comes off. Nose goes back on. Nose can be on crooked, whatever they want to do with it. So anyway, there's that. And then I just painted the upper body, but it should be pretty close to dry now. So this is the upper part. Goes together like that. And it's real subtle what I did. I just basically put a little white paint on there to kind of give the indication of some, bark and to hide the seam. But there's that. Hang that back up again. And the only other thing I did was I put together the first, I guess, prototype of the apparatus to hold the body on, the lower body. It's going to actually join right at the top of that lower body to suspend it just in front of the person, and then the feet will be separate on shoes that can be kicked out. And this basically goes through the legs, and then it's on a belt that kind of holds like that. And there'll be padding on this bar here, but it's really off-gassing right now. And once that's done, I'm gonna paint a good chunk of it black, and I actually probably all of it black before I install it and check this length. And this is collapsible. This comes apart and be held in place with a screw. So I got to address that, but I didn't really know the depth it needed to be, so I left it a little long. So that's where I'm at. So intrigued to see what you do with the bungee going through the body. I may or may not have the bungee in there anymore. I don't know. I keep going back and forth. I have it. I can try it, but the more I futzed with it, the more I worried it would be too difficult to change the head out during that one scene. And I think the head's just going to be separate, holding on top of the other, so they can move it off or whatever they want to do. And probably that's going to be it. I also was afraid that just wear and tear, having that bungee cord strapped to the feet would be too much. So I don't know. Like I said, I keep going back and forth on it, which is why this is taking me so long. But anyway, I think that's all I got today. I suppose I could pattern Sven, but again, I'm starving and I'm a little exhausted. I've been working on this thing since about 9 a.m. today. But the other thing I found that have helped is the coal on the front. I got these little pom-poms on Amazon, and they're just the right size, and they have a fabric base, so I can just sew right into them. So it's pretty easy. They're like little tribbles. But I got 6 of them, which is perfect because I got to make 2 of these things. And he has 3 on each. So anyway, that's basically it. You have any other questions before I log off? My building is always kind of a process where I try stuff and then go back and forth until I at least get it working. Yeah, watch. Well, it'd be a lot cheaper. $7 for 6 seemed like a lot of money. So if I can get 12 out of it. Sorry, I'm just trying to clean up around here a little bit. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you guys something else. Totally unrelated to Olaf. So I did a 48 hour film years ago. And it was just me. It was actually during COVID that I did it. And I had to make the puppets real quick. And so I did. Let me get this camera situated so that see what it is. All right. So I got this little box of stuff. And so for this 20 or 48-hour film thing, I needed a trash can. I'm not sure what this is in there for. But trash can with little trash can covers that were made out of a pool noodle and some corrugated cardboard and a couple pieces of wire and the bottom off a Solo cup. So that was one trash can. And this was the other trash can. So I had these two trash cans. And then I had a boom box that I needed. So I made that out of Legos. Oh, and these are crusty. These are not going to work anymore. And then I had a little Tilly puppet that I made. It's all just carved out of foam. And then I painted it. I think I painted it with acrylics. And then the eyes and the nose were made out of the heads of pins. And I think this is the one that danced. I think I had it on a couple of rods and did that. And then this is the Daisy puppet. It's a little finger puppet that actually used these as a turntable. And then at one point she had on a little hat that I made out of part of a measuring spoon. It's just on a pin. So she could have a little DJ hat to turn the trash can lids like a mixing board. And then I had one more Tilly that could do the head spin. And it's just a little too long. Let's see. So basically what it did, it was through a piece of cardboard, and then I could spin it so she could do a head spin. But anyway, I kept them all these years, and it looks like I'm going to have to throw them out at some point because they're kind of falling apart. But I thought that was kind of neat. But anyway, I'll put the link up in this to the film. It's in my old Melon Pool feed. It's very, very short. I didn't place or anything, but I was very proud of myself because I made like all these puppets and a little set. I had the set. I don't think I still have it anymore, but I had the set forever that had like little. It was like a little alley with little newspapers that I made everywhere, and a couple of movie posters, which were actually the postcards from Alien vs. Musical that I just put up to look like movie posters, and other odds and ends. And it was all just a little area like this big, and I shot it and edited the whole thing in 48 hours. And yeah, it didn't place or anything, but it was a lot of fun. And I think it was in 2021, or it was maybe the end of 2020 that I did it. So it was just me. But I saw these when I got the paint out, and I know I hadn't shown them to anybody before. So I'll put these in my eBay store. People can buy them. Yeah. So I don't know that. I don't think this computer's powerful enough for me to copy and paste the link into the chat. Well, maybe I can. Here's my phone. If I can do it on my phone, I'll do it right now. I think those competitions are rigged toward people who are friends of the. Well, I don't know. I mean, I placed before, but they always look for innovation and stuff, and I don't know that this really did it. Okay, your videos. This is going to be the most informative video ever. Just me going through my phone here. I think it was called "This Is Going to Be Good." Oh, I don't see it. Sorry, just 1 second. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay. Okay. Share. Copy link. See if I can do it Facebook here. Like I said, my computer's so weak that I don't think it will allow me to do it at the same time that I'm on the chat here. Okay, there's that. Here we go. Comment. There you go. Okay, so that link will take you to the movie. So anyway, yeah. So it's a different type of puppetry than I usually do. So it was a learning experience. And I'd like to do it again because it was fun. It was based on what what's his name? I can't remember the puppeteer's name, but he does a bunch of videos like that, or used to. Hobie Ford. And it was a cool little project. So probably this time next year, those puppets will just be dust. Anyway, I guess that's about it for today. Sorry it wasn't more informative. But next, I guess on Monday we'll see what Olaf turned out, and hopefully we'll see a good chunk of what Sven turned out.